All right, everybody, thanks for joining us. We're joined by Wisconsin head coach Mark Johnson and student athletes Caroline Harvey and Cammie Cronish. We'll start off with a statement from Coach Johnson, and then we'll take questions for the players.
How good a game was that? Was it exciting? Yeah, it was fun. No, obviously we're real excited. Great ebbs and flows of overtime, both teams having great chances, and we got an opportunity obviously, and KK makes a great shot. I thought conference pass out of the corner was outstanding, and you bury it, but 6 times we've played each other, and most of the games have been like that, and so this is the first one. We've had overtimes and shootouts and whatnot, and it comes down to somebody making a play, goaltender making a save. Both goaltenders played extremely well. Congratulations to Minnesota on a fine season and a very strong team. So we're happy to be playing in the last game, and look forward to the day off tomorrow and get the laces tied up and go after it Sunday.
Questions for the student athletes?
Todd Molesky from Wisconsin State Journal. Caroline, can you walk us through what happened there? Because from getting it on your tape to going the other way, it seemed like about a half a second. Maybe it was a blur to you too.
Yeah, honestly, I blacked out, but it was pretty crazy. I think Britta or Jessie threw the puck across the slot. Layla told me she was actually about to catch it, and she felt me there. She let it go, and then I was just able to shoot that puck and try to pick that corner. So I was lucky enough to go in, and it's a great team play out there. So I was excited for our team to come together at the end like that.
Jess Myers from the Rink Live. Carolyn, was the goalie down? Did you see net above her, or what did you see when you tried to pick the corner?
Honestly, I've shot that same spot on her before, so I know she's sliding across because the puck was coming from the other side, so try to pick that glove side because I know she was sliding, and I think she might have been down a little bit crouching, so I was trying to go high up there.
Cammie, people have used the word resilient with this team this season, especially after what happened in January. To have Minnesota score with a minute and change left and to be able to regroup like you guys did, what does that tell you about how this team is made up, I guess?
Yeah, I think resilient is a great word to describe our team. We've gone through some adversity and we've come out stronger on the other end. But yeah, that last goal, I mean, in my view, I was just like, it was a lucky bounce. The puck was going wide and it somehow got redirected into the net. So I just had to take a mental reset. I knew that we were playing a better game and that if we just stuck to our game plan that things would work out for us in the end. So you just have to work through bounces like that.
Dawn Mitchell, Fox 9, Minneapolis. Caroline, just for the whole team, when you kind of kept it a close game and then you got to the third, what were you sensing from Minnesota that you guys could break it out and finally, get basically 2 goals pretty quick on them?
Sorry, can you repeat that a little bit? Sorry.
Yeah, it was a tight one. If you could stay close, 1-0, right?
Yeah.
And take it into the third. And what were you seeing from Minnesota when you guys finally broke it open and got those 2 quick goals?
Yeah, I mean, our team knew we were due to score. We kept pressing on them. We were so close for so long, so it was about time we were going to put one in the net, and it happened. And we were able to get a couple quick ones, like you said. And we knew our team has so much fight in us, so much grit. We knew we were going to come back. We knew we were going to get the job done today.
For either player, Zach Hanley from Channel 3 in Madison. You just beat your rival in dramatic fashion in overtime. How do you kind of reset and maybe control the emotions because you got a big one coming up on Sunday?
I think that it just comes down to taking everything day by day. Coach always tells us not to look too far ahead. It's a 3-period game. You can't look too far towards the end. So just realizing that we have 60 more minutes of hockey to play and that it's not over. And just, we can ride that high tonight, but tomorrow morning it's a clean slate and we need to get back to doing our game plan and focusing on what's coming next.
KK, did you know that you had 14 shots on goal tonight? Did it seem like a game where you were just getting that many chances and they just didn't go?
I didn't know that, but honestly, I thought we were gonna get one for so long, like a stick on it, a backdoor tap in. So I was glad that we were able to get a couple. Obviously, Wheeler had a nice pass to Sophie there, and I don't know who else scored the other one, but I knew we were due to get a couple more. So it was exciting to finally get some in.
Mark Stewart from the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Cammie, I guess I just want to get your thoughts on, your mindset. What's kind of going through your mind, and how do you kind of, reset, after such kind of a, giving up that late goal. What were you kind of doing during the break? What's kind of going through your mind as you're, especially early in overtime, kind of having to, fight off some shots?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't expect this to be an easy game. Minnesota's a really skilled team. We've had a lot of good battles with them this year. So, I mean, every game that we've played this year has just been a kind of mental preparation for games like this. You grow, you become mentally stronger, and you're able to get over things better and be able to work through goals and other types of adversity. So, just sticking to my game plan and what works for me, reminding myself of the things that help me save pucks, and that's all I have to focus on, not trying to dwell on anything else.
Anything else for the student athletes? All right. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, guys.
Congratulations.
Cool down.
Need one for sure.
Questions for Coach Johnson?
Mark, I asked them about resilience. I mean, what did you see from them in the break, or maybe in the last minute of regulation, and taking it into the overtime intermission, in terms of, just having to shake that off and come back, because they were that close, and it could go either way in overtime.
Yeah, I mean, you're disappointed that you give a goal up, late in the game, but the next shift you got to be ready to play, because experience tells me, and situations we've had earlier in the season and we've learned from that, you got to be ready to play, and then you get an opportunity for 15 minutes in between regulation and overtime to reset yourself and understand that when they drop the puck, I mean, a bunch of overtimes end in the first minute of it, so you need to be ready to play. And then you just saw, ebbs and flows. We come down and get 2 or 3 chances. We get hemmed in our own end. Minnesota, we get a couple chances, and then, it's going to come down to one play. But it's just like you take all your distractions and you just get yourself in a cocoon, and you got to stay there. And you can't get deviated by anything. And if something negative happens, you got to reset as quick as you can and go back out and get ready for the next shift, because that's the most important one.
Mark, after Minnesota took the early lead, and really early on kind of seemed to dictate things, what needed to change? What changed in terms of your team being able to kind of settle in and really kind of start building momentum as the game went on?
Yeah, I mean, I was disappointed, in our play the first 10 minutes. I don't know if it was nerves or, being a little shell-shocked with a goal 2.5 minutes into the game and put us on our heels. And, with the second media timeout, it was just, get back to little things. We got to move our feet. We got to get the puck in the offensive zone, and we got to try to create some opportunities. But, even in between the first and second period, I told the team, we got to go play like we're capable of playing, and, leave everything out there. And I thought, the latter part of the first period, we started to do some things better, and then we built off that, got a little bit of momentum in between periods, and then came out in the second period and actually played quite well.
Mark, your penalty kill was spot on tonight, and you also seemed to get more energy off that every time you killed one off. And also, when you guys got pinned in the corners, your women seemed to get more energy. What is it about your team that they can do that and not get down each and every time?
Well, I think the big thing, as I told them, earlier in the week, they're prepared physically to play right now. And we've had many tests in the last month. Started with these guys when we played them up at Ritter, in 2 games and packed houses and very good games. Came back against Ohio State, had a couple more playoff games, and then got involved in the NCAA tournament. So it's a time of year where if you're playing your best hockey, that resilience comes out. And so we didn't flinch too much after they scored the first goal, and just had to let the game settle down. and then get your legs going and move the puck and try to do some things offensively. So I'm just proud of them. I mean, we've had some hiccups, and I've told you guys met, a few times over the course of the season. Most teams I've been with, you're going to have some hiccups, and things aren't going to go your way. And the most important thing is you got to stay, on the same page, with the coaches and the players. Everybody's got to be together because nobody's going to help you. You're the only ones that are going to help each other. And if you can navigate through that space where things aren't going well, you're going to come out of it stronger, and we've been able to do that. And that last month of the season, players showed themselves what they're capable of doing. And once they see it themselves, geez, the coaches are right, and all of a sudden they start playing on their toes a little bit more. They're a little more confident, and like I told them earlier in the week, they're prepared. Now it's just what's between the ears. How can you get mentally ready to try to play the best game of the season?
Mark, it's been such an interesting race because you kind of dropped a little behind Minnesota and Ohio State with the chance to make it all up right here in 3 days' time. And those are both great teams, but your team seemed like you had so many chances in the second period, and you kind of peppered them and really got the momentum. But the time it looked like you might not score, you get 2 in a minute. And you really carried it from then on, and suddenly you looked like the team with more stamina. You looked like you played them kind of to a standstill. They looked like they ran out of gas trying to keep up with you.
Well, it's a game of, you've seen enough hockey. I mean, it's a game of momentum, and it can change instantly. And so, we're at 1-0, as I told my staff as we're going out to the third period, we just need to score. And I've seen how our players react when we score goals. And, I know if we can get one, we're going to start playing even better than we were the second period and in the early part of the third period. And so that's what you're seeing. Then there's a breakdown, and we get a 2-on-1, and all of a sudden you're up 2-1. And you get to immediate timeout, and you just got to, again, you got to get the players into this cocoon and just, hey, don't get ahead of yourselves. You got a long way to go. And, credit Minnesota, they were able to tie it up late, and, then we get into the overtime. But the game can change quickly on whether a team scores or you kill a penalty and get some momentum from doing that. A goalie makes a great save, and, welcome to playoff hockey. Yeah, we've had a couple. I mean, our first game down there, we went into overtime, and we had multiple chances. They did. They win a face-off with 35 seconds to go in overtime and beat us. We play overtime in Madison, and we get a penalty shot, and we end the game on a penalty shot in overtime. And so, we've played some high-energy games with them, and I'm sure we're going to see that Sunday afternoon.
Mark, how big was Layla in getting you guys going in the first, midway through the first period? It seemed like she really got things going. And from a freshman perspective, obviously KK gets the winner, but Layla seemed like she gave you some juice.
She did. I mean, and it started on her best shift early in the game was when she blocked that shot, and the puck bounced towards their defensive zone, and she beat the girl down the ice and got a scoring opportunity out of it. And again, as a player, you do something like that, all of a sudden you get involved in the game a little bit more, and then she makes a big play on the face-off that we won off an icing, and takes the puck, as we say, into the blue paint, and the puck's in the back of the net, and then we're excited. So. Yeah, I mean, she did well. Enright did well. I thought Jungles had a very strong game. So, look at the freshmen that we have that played tonight a lot of minutes. They played well under the pressure that they were under.
Mark, you kind of touched on Cammie a little bit initially, but, I mean, just can you give us your thoughts, especially in the third, not the third period, the overtime. There was a 2-on-1 opportunity there that she stopped. And I mean, just can you talk about what you saw in her in that period and just kind of her growth over this, this season? Yeah,
I mean, with her the last 4, 5, 6 weeks, when she's sort of been, the go-to goaltender, she wanted that role, and she was fighting for it all season. And unfortunately for Jane, when she hurt her ankle, that gave Cammie an opportunity to take the baton and run with it, and did well. And then as coaches, we made a decision a while ago that, we were going to run the table with Cammie, and she accepted the challenge. She's been around a long time. She's had to play behind other goaltenders and encourage them and support them and continue working. And not knowing when she might get her opportunity. And so coming back this year, you knew she was going to get a chance, and then she's, going back and forth on weekends with Jane, and all of a sudden here comes my opportunity because, the player I'm competing against gets hurt. Am I ready to play back-to-back nights and do things that can help the team win? And you look at her body of work over the whole season, I mean, the games she's played in, we've had a chance to win. She's given us an opportunity to win. A couple of them we haven't won, but it wasn't anything to do with the fact that, she let in too many goals or didn't play well. She gave us a chance to win. And I'm excited for her because, a lot of athletes might give up and not wait for that opportunity, or as they go through that process, not work hard enough, not knowing if I'm going to get a chance, and when my chance comes, I don't know, and then all of a sudden, here it comes, and I'm not quite ready. But she's prepared, she's excited, and she's accepted the challenge and done very well at it.
Mark, can you just expand a little bit on Layla? Coming out of U18s, everybody was paying attention to her, and it felt like she had the normal transition into college where it struggles a little, and I think maybe there was the confidence issue, and it's just seeing her go out and score a goal like she did tonight. Like, she really seems to have grown into her game and using her height and the length of her stick in ways that, we didn't see from her earlier in the season.
Yeah, it's been encouraging because, with a lot of young players, as they go through some struggles early on, how do they adjust to it? How do they accept it? Are they willing to look in the mirror and say, hey, yeah, I need to work a little harder. I need to, listen to coach and go do some of the things he or she's telling me. And, then you have, highs and lows because sometimes they get mad at the coach because the coach is challenging them for the first time in their careers. And, with her, with Sims, Enright early on wasn't getting a lot of minutes, and all of a sudden we make a couple changes. The best thing we did with Layla was we took her from playing her off wing and we put her on the right side. And, as a coach, I probably should have done it earlier. But when I saw it for the first time at St. Thomas, it was like, something sparked, and it just opened up her game, gave her some confidence, and, she's done wonderful the second half.
Anything else for Coach? All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.